I'm Joanna Farrell, host of LTV's foremost bench-centric program, Benched, reporting to you from the 2008 Fisherman's Fair in Springs, right here at Ashwall Hall. On today's unusually bench-devoid episode of Benched, we stop by the 2008 Fisherman's Fair. Since the 1940s, according to the most informed Bonnickers, the Springs Fisherman's Fair has delighted locals and visitors alike from the architectural and cultural hub of Springs, Ashwall Hall. Food is a definite focal point at this annual event, with local businesses and individuals donating their time, prized crops, and recipes, with offerings such as fresh corn, baked goods, hot dogs, mass quantities of beer, snow cones, ice cream, homemade lemonade, clams on the half shell, mussels, and the legendary Springs clam pie. Over 40 craft booths will be on site, selling everything from wood carvings to homemade tablecloths. An expansive plant sale will be set up in front of Ashwall Hall, as per usual. James DeMartis, a local blacksmith, will be on site throughout the day to give demonstrations. Local artists will be exhibiting their masterpieces, and posters from previous fairs are available for purchase, some even signed by the artists themselves. The Bonnicker action doesn't stop there. The Springs Library across the street sells hundreds of books in excellent condition for prices starting at $1. Next to the library, a children's section is full of fun activities for the younger set. 2 full-size water slides, among other recreational kiosks and carnival games, are sure to please kids of all ages. Chucky Bologna, coordinator of all things Fisherman's Fair, who spends 4 months organizing this colossal event, isn't letting an injured Achilles tendon get in her way this year. She credits the passion of the volunteers for the festival that's consistently a smash, while simultaneously appearing to go off without a hitch. Proceeds from the fair benefit both the Ashwall Hall Renovation Fund and the Spring Scholarship Fund. Last year, over $30,000 was raised. Taking into account the abundance of food, art, family-friendly atmosphere, and a heapin' helpin' of bonnet culture, the Fisherman's Fair is one venue you can't afford to miss. Mark your calendars, East Hampton. I'm here with Chucky Bologna, who is the coordinator of all things Fisherman's Fair. I heard from her son Paul, who also works at LTV, that she's been working on this since April. Could you please give me a brief description of what goes into creating this?
Sure. We start early by sending out letters for donations to all the various places in town. And it's just a matter of organizational skills, which I happen to be good at. I don't know where I got that from, but I've been working at the fair. Actually, this is my 45th year at the fair. I started here when I was 10 years old. We had a book booth before the library was here. My aunt used to live in that house, and we had a book booth, and we collect books all year. So I've been coming to the fair since 1963.
Oh my God!
Yeah, so I got I came back to it about 8 years ago, and was asked to be coordinator. And it's a labor of love. I love Springs. I grew up here. And I've got my entire family in this. As you see across the way, we have my boyfriend, my son, my friend, my uncles, my aunts, my cousins, my sister, my cousins all run these booths. And when they see me coming, they kind of lock their doors and close their curtains.
Why would they do that?
Why would they do that?
Yeah, well, if they're related to you, I think that's probably a natural.
Yeah,
they love you and they want
to help. Sure.
But I've noticed, and everybody knows who lives in Springs or has been to Springs, that there's really a tight-knit community here. It's like a hamlet that seems separate from the Hamptons. There's a lot of Bonnick pride.
There really is.
And where does that come from?
I'm not sure. It's just having grown up here. I went to spring school. My first slow dance was in this building. Blue Velvet, Ernie Green. Girl Scouts was over there, first joint over there. All this good stuff, and it's just a sense of community and having lived here your whole life, and you know people. It's a bond you make when you're very young, and you just never lose it. Something about Springs is just very special. You're right.
It's separate. I mean, and it seems to have escaped for the most part the Hamptonization.
Yes, yeah, we've sort of escaped that whole thing.
So when you look
Hamptons thing,
exactly.
Yeah.
Benched presents a moment with Banjo Jack Williams.
Because anytime I'm a loyal Democrat, I don't want to get political.
Oh no,
But
please.
anytime a Democrat upstages the Olympics, like my dear friend John Edwards did.
Oh, God.
Now, I don't think he planned it that way, but politics is politics. And one thing you don't, and I love politics, because it's about time we put a woman in the White House. See, the problem with men is that they get involved with women sometimes, and it gets them in big trouble. See? So I've learned after 75 years to keep my zipper. No, but to stay out of that kind of trouble.
Absolutely, and that's why you have a 38-year partner.
Yeah, 38, and well, she's forgiven me for all my trespasses and all that stuff. But
And delivered
the problem,
you from evil.
Yeah, from
Amen.
evil. Yeah, amen. Well, that's sort of a religious thing.
I'm with Steve and Laura from Michigan. They came all the way to Springs for the Fisherman's Fair. And what brought you guys here?
My Uncle Charlie actually lives down the street, who owns Martyrs. We come out here every year, and we go fishing, we go to the beach, do all that kind of stuff. It's a fun time.
Cool. Then, did you come from? Yep, I'm actually Steve's girlfriend, and came and it's awesome here, having the best time.
Excellent. So you got pulled along, but when you came here, you realized it's an awesome place. What have you seen so far that's impressed you?
What's the best part? I fell in love with the beach right away, and we went up to Montauk, and we went out fishing and everything, and it's just, I love the small fishing towns and everything. That's probably the best part.
So it's very different from Michigan. What region of Michigan are you from?
Metro Detroit.
Oh, okay. If you could recommend 3 things here to the public regarding the Fisherman's Fair, what would they be and why?
3 things. Probably the food. The food looks great.
Okay.
The arts and crafts.
Ooh, what kind of arts and crafts?
Probably there's some petrified wood stand somewhere over here, and there's some jewelry. The jewelry's really nice, crafted, by hand and all that stuff.
Excellent. Yeah. I really like the jewelry too, and the fish silk screens.
Oh,
The fish prints.
so are they do it yourself, or are they?
No, they're already made. They're like imprints of fish.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm not very artistic, so I like to buy art, but if I were to be left to my own devices to do silk screen, I'd be kicked out of the fair, I'd be fired, and everything would go to pot. If there were one food, Takeru Kobayashi, the competitive
Eating King?
Oh yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. He's actually broken a new record, 58 bratwursts in 10 minutes,
Wow.
which I find somewhat disturbing, but I think it's certainly a feat for someone who's probably our weight and height. But what food here have you sampled or would like to sample that would make you feel that you'd be able to challenge him mano a mano?
I'm gonna go at him for the Clams Casino.
Really?
Tear him apart in the Clams Casino, or any sort of clams at all.
How many do you think you could eat in 10 minutes?
I'm gonna say a good 200.
200, you heard it here, it's a fact. He can eat 200 clams. From Michigan all the way to Springs, and have a great day. I'm here with Mr. Bernie Lippman, who is an actor, and currently an actor.
Since I've retired about 5 years ago.
And what was your vocation before then?
Well, I've had actually 2 or 3 major careers. The last thing I did was a school psychologist in Spanish Harlem.
Wow, that's a cool job. That's
know.
it's a very intense job.
I like working with kids, but I didn't care for the bureaucracy of the city, but it was fun. I love kids. I'm sort of like a teddy bear type.
Oh, well, I wasn't intimidated. You look like a nice guy.
I know what you mean, because I've worked a fair amount since I got into this acting thing, and I've been to a lot of sets with young girls particularly, or even guys, and they all call me Mr. Lipman, you know.
Oh, it's nice. It must be nice to hear, though. It's a term of respect, at least.
I guess so.
They don't say, "Hey, you," over there.
Right, exactly.
So it works out. But how long have you been going to the fair?
This T-shirt is probably 15 years old. We've been coming here since way back. I can't remember when.
And you've been
long time.
You told me that you've been renting here for years.
35 years.
35.
Every part of the East Hampton.
So what draws?
Springs, south of the highway, town, or just all over. Everything.
So what draws you? What draws you back to Springs? What makes Springs so individual?
I like the bays. I enjoy the ocean, but I really enjoy the bays. I do a lot of snorkeling. One summer, I don't think my wife spent $10 on food for me. Oh, I snorkel, and I get clams, mussels, oysters, and even snails. Those little things that stick on the rock. I forget what they're called. But anyway, they're like snails, and I eat it all.
So what have you done at the fair so far today?
Today I've had clams. I've had clams on the half shell, and I've had a clam chowder. And I've had, and I bought 2 rings.
Oh.
2 little rings.
I think we can zoom in on those if you just hold them up.
Oh God.
So these are.
This is from my feminine side, I guess.
No, you're like those metrosexual. You're concerned with your appearance.
What do they call that?
Metrosexual.
Metrosexual. I never heard that.
It means that if you're a masculine man, but you're concerned about your appearance and you enjoy looking good. It's a good thing.
Okay.
It's a good thing.
So what is your name?
My name is Joanna, by the way.
Joanna, nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you.
You know, fishermen probably have the highest mortality rate of any occupation. That's a known fact.
Really?
So it's a dangerous job. In fact, there was a story in the Star recently about a captain who was, swept away overboard and he drowned just last week. So
I remember reading about that too.
Yeah, that was in the Star, in this week's Star actually. So it's a good cause.
And Ashwell Hall is so historic. I mean, Springs is really its own little hamlet. So this is really the hub of Springs.
We love the Springs. We stayed at Clearwater Beach, and except this year there was the invasion of the jellyfish.
Oh.
And I got stung really bad.
Oh no.
And in my wrist particularly, and it swelled up. And I won't go into that. But
no,
there are various, local cures. If you can't get to a drugstore.
I've heard of a couple. I've heard of a couple. Some of them aren't appropriate to be mentioned on television, but I do actually have a similar story. I was stung by an enormous jellyfish, and my friend at the time told me, my father said, put ammonia on it.
That's right.
I put I poured straight ammonia onto my arm. Yeah. I screamed so loud, the people in Los Angeles could probably hear me. I didn't speak to my friend for about 7 years, but it was the most unpleasant experience. I'd stick with the tried and true ways of dealing with
antiseptic, I think.
Antiseptic. Don't use ammonia on jellyfish. Use the methods unmentionable on this program. But
I tried to ask for some volunteers, but nobody volunteered.
Well, I think that's a good thing. It means you're in a community that's safe. But it's wonderful, and it was wonderful meeting you, and
very nice meeting.
And thank you for being on camera. Cross Banjo Jack Williams?
Williams, that's right.
Okay, wonderful. I remember the last name. The Banjo Jack really stuck in my head. This gentleman is a professional clown and a local. He is from Springs. How many years have you been coming to the Fisherman's Fair?
Well, at least for the last 10 years. I live up the street, see. I migrated here from a place called Glen Head.
I know.
When we got chased out of Nassau County, we came out here to the Springs, and I've been here ever since. And this is quite a nice fair. I usually walk up the street here, exercise, but this is paradise. It's a beautiful day for it, and I'm with my 38-year partner Judith over here, who's painfully shy. And
Well, I think you're yin and yang. You balance each other out. There has to be one very outgoing and one late.
Well, you know, as a matter of fact, I've been up since 4 o'clock this morning.
Really?
And when I wake up and find that I caught a rat in my have-a-heart trap, I knew that I had to get up. So I'm watching television. I'm watching about this. Actually, he was a presidential candidate, John Edwards, wonderful
I'm very
guy.
aware.
And he went to North Carolina. He's got a wonderful wife and family. And believe it or not, when he was running with John Kerry, Banjo Jack, me,
Yes.
I captured a bus, the Democratic bus, going to hear him speak, and I entertained his kids. He's got a little son, Jackie, and I did magic with him.
Oh, really?
So I feel very close to this guy, and he does have a heck of a good-looking face, and his hair. I mean, you know,
He has good hair. I think hair is part of the total
The
package.
thing of it is that people stumble, they fall, they get in difficulty, but the media loves this stuff.
Exactly.
I mean, you know.
I don't even watch the news anymore.
I
because-
wouldn't watch this stuff, but the reason I mention it is I'm wondering if it'll have anything to do with the election in November, or the fact that the Democrats are meeting in 2 weeks. And of course, we were very much for our senator, Senator Hillary Clinton. And you know, I think she ran a tremendous campaign. But according to the way the rules, she lost, see. But, you know, I was going around as Banjo Jack saying it's about time we put a woman in the White House. Not that this stuff wouldn't happen with women. They cheat, they do it. But
we're human. We're only human.
yeah, but you don't want to hear all this. I didn't even know I was going to talk about this.
I know.
But I did take the rat out to breakfast. They have a picnic table, right? Now, this is 5:30 in the morning. I'm having breakfast, and the rat's there. And when no one's looking, I let the rat go. See, I figured that the rat will enjoy the food. So that's what
The health department and the
fishing.
proprietors might not, but the rat
they
will.
didn't see me. Actually, the sausage they bought, I put a little bit of that as bait for the next rat. I mean, there's a lot of rats out around here.
Wonderful. So you're an animal enthusiast, and
No, but I didn't kill the rat.
No,
I didn't shoot him. I
no.
didn't drown him. You know.
Absolutely. So
And this is all baloney, because you see, I did enjoy the opening of the Olympics last night.
definitely.
But all the time they're saying about John Edwards, you know. So I can't believe that that America and this clown would be so fascinated by people's acting out. Let's call it,
Absolutely.
you know, mistakes.
So, I mean, it's a perfect time when we're overwhelmed with the media, when we have animals in our house, to come to the Fisherman's Fair and Spring.
Yeah.
So, let me know, what brings you back to the...
What brings me back here is the clam pie.
The clam pie. Now, tell me about the clam pie.
And the roasted corn was good.
Tell me about all these
I'm
delicacies.
an overeater, and see this shirt right here?
Yes.
Okay. This shirt is what I wear when I come to the Fisherman Fair. You know, it's like a costume.
Absolutely.
Now, this is a shirt that nurses wear in the pediatrics.
Oh, like
kids,
scrubs.
It's because it has the
pocket.
pockets. And so I found these shirts down in Florida for $5 each. And I ended up buying about 20 of them, and I started giving them to people. Because everybody said, "Where'd you get that shirt?" They'd want one, so I get it. Anyway, I went in the shirt business.
Absolutely, and it's apropos for today.
But
so.
nobody else has a shirt like this, right?
No, I have not seen
was
it.
trying
Well,
to sell-
maybe 2 or 3 people I've seen with that shirt on. But I just think it's, I think
What?
you... Oh, sorry. I'll definitely, we'll wrap
You're
it up.
running out of tape.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry
Hey, I
about it.
want to tell you, you've been grand through the whole ugly mess, and if no one told you they love you today, I do.
Banjo Jack loves me. Thank you so much. Very nice to meet you.
I always get a hug. That's pretty good.
I like hugs too. Have
Yeah,
a great
we
day.
all do.
We all do. We should hug more.
That was a hell of an interview.
It was a hell of an interview. Thank you, Banjo Jack Williams.
It is a village.
With
It's our own separate village. Absolutely.
Your own.
We have our own community hall, which is actually a lot of the funds from the fair goes to the upkeep of Ashmore Hall. We had a huge renovation last year, and we need the money for that. And then a lot of the money goes to scholarships for spring school students.
Because I heard you raised about $30,000 so far for the.
For the fair. Yes, from last year and from rental of the fair, we rented for art shows and things like that. And then we love that the money goes to spring scholarships. You know, there was a very long period where I didn't come to the fair, and then I started coming back.
And then it got really good.
Because it's always been really good.
Oh.
Yeah, even without me.
But
it runs itself on fair day, as you can see. I just kind of walk around kind of useless with a log on my leg.
But you're like the mayor here. Everybody says, "Hey Chucky," I've been hearing "Hey Chucky." Like,
yeah, because they're all looking for something, like spoons or forks or no more napkins or something.
But if you were to recommend 3 things that people had to see here, or 3 things that really define the fair for everybody, what would you say?
Well, I have a soft spot for clams in the half shell, and my old school buddies, the Overton boys, are opening clams today with Carl Hediger, and our good girl Peg DeSuno is taking the money today. Love the clams in the half shell. I love the blacksmith shop, which is open today and doing demonstrations. James DeMartis is doing that for us. It's really a real part of what Springs. Old Parsons blacksmith shop is open today, and the mussels that right here, they're amazing. George from Gordon's does the marinade every year. And all the stuff at the bake booth is either donated or made by local ladies. All the stuff is baked locally.
Oh, wonderful!
So it's fun.
I heard that you.
My cookies sold first, and not for nothing, but all my cookies are gone. Okay.
Well, we have a former bakery proprietor.
Oh yes, I used to own a bakery.
So what?
And my cookies, they're gone, but we have Peg DeSuno made this old-fashioned recipe called boiled bonnet cake. It's been around for centuries. And it's a boiled cake. You boil the cocoa with something, that's the name of it. And she made 6 of those for us. And they're there. And we have pies from One Stop. And Pumpernickel's made us giant cookies. And all our friends and relatives cooked and baked.
Local businesses.
They're all donated.
I ran into some very enthusiastic t-shirt merchants. I'll have them introduce themselves. Or maybe, I think I remember your names. We have Brock. We have David. We have Spencer, and we have Jackson. And what are you guys doing here at the fair?
We're selling t-shirts that are stars and stripers instead of the stars and stripes.
Perfect. Could you explain that, what stars and stripers are to the audience? They look like fish.
Stripers are very, what's the word? I'm sorry.
No.
Enthusiastic fish that are always like biting the hooks. They're always.
So they're just crazy fish.
Yeah, they're crazy. They're always biting, and the stars are the starfish.
Starfish. So are stripers common here?
They're very common. They're most common fish.
So how long have you guys been have you been volunteering at the fair? I'll start down here.
For like about 30 minutes or so, maybe a couple hours.
Have you been doing it in previous years?
Yeah.
We did it last year and the year before.
How long?
Same.
Same?
Yeah.
First year.
First year? But I know that all of these gentlemen are from East Hampton Springs area. So they are. Would you repeat the Bonikers through and through what you told me before?
We're Bonikers through and through, all through our bloods. We're Bonikers, man.
So what do you have to possess to make you a Boniker?
Gotta be born and raised.
And what do you think?
You guys just gotta live in East Hampton.
Is there anything special about you guys, the Bonikers, that sets you apart from the general Hamptons?
Because we're Bonikers, man. We're football. We're the first.
You're the football team. I see there's a lot of pride here. Are you involved in football?
We all are.
Oh, really?
Not all of them, just me and my brother.
Oh, great. So you play hockey. So just a very.
I play guitar.
You play guitar. Well, we're all playing something. So we're all having a good time and learning. So. What do you recommend that everybody see here at the fair? Let's start with Brock, and what do you think food-wise everybody should taste here?
The corn, and we have the ice cream over there,
and water and that's
Hot dogs.
and hot dogs.
Hot dog stands.
Hot dog stand. Do you know anybody else who's volunteering here?
My,
my grandma
aunts and uncles
and
do
my
the hot dogs, the baked goods, and the corn.
Oh wow. Okay, so you're well connected here too. So, what do you think as a guitar player? What's good fuel at the Fisherman's Fair for a guitar player like yourself?
People just noticing you, and people sometimes ask questions and stuff about you.
So, what do you like to eat here? Are you a corn enthusiast as well?
Yeah, I like the corn on the cob.
Are you guys fish people?
Yeah.
Other than wearing it on your shirts, what do you?
fish person at
You're not a
all.
fish person. So, what would you suggest for somebody who went to the Fisherman's Fair who doesn't like fish? Is there any kind of ice cream or?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that just doesn't have to be.
Cones over there.
There's a lot of stuff that just doesn't have to do with fish and stuff. So there's like other things like there's wind chimes people are selling that might be in colors of fish, but still they don't have a big fish on it.
So you're not forced to eat fish at the Fisherman's Fair.
No.
They don't tie you down or kick you out if you don't eat fish.
We might. Better not.
They might. Okay, so we have Spencer here. You got to watch out for him. He's a good T-shirt salesman, but if you don't eat fish, you just keep your eye on him. Yeah, watch him. He's tough. One thing that you have to say about the fair. What's your general opinion on the fair?
This is the best spot to do it.
Yeah,
The shade, it's nice, and everybody from the area really just kind of make their own stuff.
Exactly. So it's very
It's a
local.
lot of local stuff.
Exactly. And Springs is a very close-knit community, so
Yeah.
you feel
Yeah.
like you're among friends and relatives.
Friends and
We're
relatives.
small, but we're tough.
They're small, but they're tough. You heard it from Spencer's mouth right there. So thank you very much. We have Brock, we have David, we have Spencer, and we have Jackson. I was much better the second time announcing their names. So thank you, and keep on selling those stars and stripers. Right on. Okay. High five. Nice interview. Great interview. Great interview. You know it. Awesome.
Come on, pound it, pound it.
Found it. Mm. At the end of the day, we all have our concerns, points of issue, even sporadic bones of contention. Here on Benched, we want to know what's on your mind at this very moment. Ready? Good. What you talking about, East Hampton? Benched presents yet another moment with Banjo Jack Williams.
But here, the problem with the United States of America right now is that people will gravitate to television because they're so bored with their lives and they love to dwell on other people's misconduct. Let's call it misconduct. But I think that everyone that's in politics can have extramarital adventures. Let's call it that. But let's look at this. This is not important to the people that watch your wonderful program.
No,
But
please.
to me, at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Thank you so much to the residents and fairgoers who answered all of my questions. Chucky Bologna, the coordinator of this year's Fisherman's Fair, the Hamlet of Springs, Frank, my cameraman, and all the production staff at LTV. I'm Joanna Farrell, and until next time, East Hampton, remember, you're not a Bonniker until you're benched. Hi, I'm Joanna. Hi. See, I'm having issues with the word I.
With the word hi?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Joanna Farrell. I like park benches.